Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. Y'all, after 12 weeks, okay? We are finally coming to the end of Step by Step. And these mofos said we're going to end this series with an episode that's 1 hour and 42 minutes. Y'all, they made a direct-to-streaming movie for the final episode. And yes, people have posted spoilers after spoilers. And I would just like to say to those people who don't give full enough warning that it is a spoiler, especially to the ones who watched it illegally. Like the ones who watched it legally because it was available in their country and they could watch ahead. Most of them did a warning before, but the ones who watched it online illegally because they were able to find it on the Schmeagle site. Fuck you. Respectfully. Because why would you do that? Like, why would you just post spoilers like that? The ones who posted spoilers but did it in a way where you wouldn't really know what the story is, like what's going to be happening, because they're like, yep, I watched it and let me just say I had a lot of feelings, mostly anger. They weren't giving shit away because we felt mostly anger since episode 1 of Step by Step. I still love it. Man is the reason I love it mostly. That man is beautiful. Man. Christopher. So like that I get, and it kind of just lets me know how you felt, and a lot of people have felt that, and it hasn't made me drop. But the people who were out here just posting whatever, and I have a feeling some of it was lies just to create reactions and have people thinking, whatever about the show, but all those people, from the bottom of my heart, fuck you. Let's get into episode 12 of Step by Step, the finale. And I cannot wait for the makeout scene. I've seen that makeout scene on Threads, on Twitter, on TikTok. I want to know when they get there. Because it's been 2 years, right? The thing said it was going to, they basically took a 2-year break. Woo! They said it's been 2 years. It's been a dry spell. Let's get it on. And real quick, I just want to say I liked episode 11. I really love that it finally gave Pat the growth that I've been looking for in him since the first episode. So I liked episode 11. I liked the way it ended. Even though I know some people didn't like it, to me it was awesome. It was an awesome ending for Pat 2 years later. Okay, so what I'm surprised about is that Short left as well. I'm not surprised about A and Pat coming together and creating their own company, because she was pregnant and she was in a place where she could have left her company to take care of her daughter and then started her own thing. Yes, that's what happens a lot, actually. A lot of women, when they are in a job and they leave that job because of pregnancy, they either, when they start working again, come back as an entrepreneur, or like a lot, not all of them, depending on like what status you are, not all of them go back to their job. But like there are some out there who just go do something else because they have the ability to. And this is more the ones who stay home a while with their children, not the ones who can only stay home for like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks, and then have to go back to work because of financial responsibilities. It's usually the ones who have a spouse who can like take care of things while they are home. So, well, not just women, then men too, and non-binary folk. So yeah, people who have a spouse who can financially provide and cover them while they're home with the kids don't always go back to work when it's time to go back to work. A lot of them either start their own companies or even start doing their own thing from home, to be able to help with home finances and being able to do something on their own terms while raising the children. And like when y'all don't need to know about me. So yeah, I'm not surprised about A and Pat is what I'm getting at. I'm surprised about Shut. But that makes sense. They friends. Shut likes Pat and they mesh and they work well together. They were fast friends. I'm surprised Nan didn't leave, but then again, Nan is a career girl and she has established herself in that company, so she doesn't need to leave. She doesn't need to move on from anything. Shut got him a rich man, so she can leave. She you know what? Yeah. A and Shut had men who were like, yeah, I can provide for you. Pat left his job because he's like, my boyfriend bugging. I'm breaking up with him and I'm gonna need to start something. There we go. That's how the three girlies got together. All right, before I get to this bathroom scene, so them seeing each other, I wasn't expecting them to see each other after 2 years so early in the episode. I was thinking they were gonna drag this out to really like let us feel this space of time and really feel this yearning to see them together again. I wasn't expecting from the beginning to be like 2 years later. That was out there for me. And then even in the meeting, having them giving each other longing looks, and Nan and Shut really giving us like a rundown of what happened between GN Group and Forge. And like understanding that there was some kind of breakup of contract, but like employees don't even really understand what happened there, like what the big deal was. But still, it looks like the relationship between Forge and GN Group is still good because they were invited to a pitch meeting with a competitive company to see who's going to give them the better pitch for their products. So GN Group still has a chance. It's just that the relationship might be shaky between the two of them, and we don't know why. Which makes me wonder, is the relationship shaky because GN Group lost the guy who came up with a very successful ad campaign for Forge, and they're like, why would you lose someone like that? Because I'm thinking back to the new employee, I think is the name of the show, the Korean BL, where when they didn't hire the interns, and the interns decided to make their whole like farewell project for saying goodbye to the company, and one of a company who does their campaigns through them like calls that company, is like, how could you let go like these two promising individuals? Like, these are the kind of people I want to work with. Do you see their thing? And because of that, when they started their a new company, their own company, there were people who were moving away from that company to that one because they're like, you lost like promising people from your company, so you must not be good. It does make me wonder, is that what happened, where Forge is like, wait, the guy who did our campaign, the one who we want to work with, no longer works for you. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end our contract because we would have stayed for him. Like, is that the situation? That's what I'm wondering. I'm thinking about the business aspect. I'm supposed to be thinking about the romance, shouldn't I? And also, now that Jeng and Pat have met again, when are we gonna actually have them talking to each other? They're both in the bathroom right now, and I'm hoping this means we're gonna get a conversation. But it also looks like Shut and Nan are about to prevent a conversation because they know Shut understands how awkward it is. Nan is like, maybe we should let them talk it out. Shut is like, let's let them have some space away from each other still, because you never know what's gonna happen. They're both right in their own thinking, because you don't know what the situation is going to be, and you don't know how to handle a situation like this. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen when they finally speak to each other. Pat did not wash his hands. I repeat, Pat did not wash his hands. So yeah, Shut interrupted them. Jeng sees Pat and like is getting ready to just talk to Pat, and Shut comes in and gets Pat away from the situation, which again could be good. Maybe Pat isn't there yet and Pat isn't ready, even if Jeng is ready to want to settle things and hope for a reconciliation of the relationship. So I hope Pat washed his hands eventually. Because he got dragged out of that bathroom. Do you know that song? I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. That is A's song. I need to take a clip of her turning around like that and putting that song over it. Hopefully I'll remember. Okay. So I feel everything Pat is saying here. Because remember, he and Jeng talked about having karaoke nights at Pearl and Oliver. And now here is Tay coming in wanting to hire them to do a campaign for karaoke nights at Pearl and Oliver. So I get him being suspicious here. I'm kind of suspicious too. And then, of course, going back and thinking in retrospect and going, wow, maybe the relationship didn't work, so he convinced Miss Nadia to get his company as well, or he purposely did something to have Forge in their contract so that they can also check out Broccoli House. I get his thought of thinking, his thoughts and his train of thought here, because of how controlling Jeng is of certain situations. I can see why he thinks Jeng is just sitting down and calculating this to have it be the thing that brings them back together. Do I think Jeng actually did it though? I don't. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that for the sake of the show and for the sake of development, character development, Jeng did not plan any of that. And even like the karaoke thing, it was an idea he gave Tay, but said maybe he didn't want to use it. And Tay's like, screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to my friends and see if they'll do an online ad pitch for it, an online ad for it, for me, without consulting Jeng. Like, maybe that's what we're getting. And for character development's sake, I hope that is what happened. All right, so we have Jeng and the dad having a conversation, playing golf in the office, bonding. And the dad is telling Jeng he wants him to become the vice president. And Jeng kind of just brushes off the conversation and says he needs to drop Jab at the airport and leaves. And then now we get from the conversation between Jab and Jeng that Jeng never plans on taking over the company. He only stayed to make sure that the department was thriving, and he plans to eventually leave the company. He has no interest in inheriting a company, and we know that he's very in love with his restaurant and micromanages everything at his restaurant. So he most likely just wants to go back to just being a chef and being in charge of his kitchen. So we see that. We also know that Job is going to go see Jane, and Jane knows that Job is coming. He also makes a comment about breaking up and how them breaking up, Jane won't just disappear on him like Pat does, which of course kind of pisses off Jeng, that he'd say something like that. And then Job says to him, like, this is a good thing, like, he's ignoring you, that means he still has feelings for you, which is true, like, because if he didn't have feelings for you, it would have been like, oh, hi, how you doing? All right, so I guess we're both at this meeting, all right, let's go. And it would have been awkward, but he would have been like cordialish with you. He wasn't. He just ignored and not talked. So obviously there's still feelings there. Job recognizes that. Jeng didn't really recognize that because he's all moody and broody. So that's what we have so far on The Young and the Restless. Step by step. Only 20 minutes in. We're only 20 minutes in. He still has the tiger in a drawer. The tiger is still sitting in the drawer. He did not throw the tiger out. I ain't seen Sharky, but I see the tiger. I'm confused about something, and I've been thinking about it since I started Step by Step. is this a situation where the use of English is just something that happens in businesses? So everyone who's working in certain types of businesses are required, or offices are required to speak English because they do their meetings and everything in English, because they have like a high population of English speakers in the country. Is it because I was like under the assumption when I first started the series that the reason why the digital marketing department is doing presentations in English and everything is because they're mostly working with international companies. So having a language other than Thai is going to be beneficial in that. But here we have them again, because with Miss Nadia, again, speaking in English, but it's for a Thai company. Or is it like it's a foreign owned Thai company? Like, how does this work? I have questions about that. Because I'm also thinking about in like Korean offices, they'll like use English names. But in the office, they still speak in Thai. In Korean, Korea. But in this, everyone, like the ads they're putting out are in Thai, like the one that they did with Put and Chris in Step by Step, played by Up. They did that. It was a Thai ad still for a product in Thailand, and they were reaching out to a Thai audience, but the meeting for it was done in English. and it's just like is it because they're working with a foreign company with a company in Thailand? Or is it that they just conduct their meetings in English in the business arena because they don't always work with people who speak Thai fluently? Like, how does it work? I just have that question. How does it work? Okay, so after the meeting, we have Pat deciding finally he's going to go talk to Jeng. And he lets Jeng know that he basically still doesn't trust him and thinks that Jeng is meddling. Jeng is trying to explain he had nothing to do with him getting the offer to do the online ads for the karaoke night at his restaurant. That was all Tay. But Pat doesn't believe him. And I also don't blame Pat in not believing him. Jeng, over and over again, has shown how controlling he is. So of course, yeah, Pat not believing Jeng makes sense. Jeng really wants to show he's changed, but he still hasn't had that opportunity. I mean, especially since he's waiting out there. He's like, yeah, this wasn't a accidental meeting. I purposely was here because I want to see you. Is adding to Pat's like distrust of Jeng, in thinking Jeng is still trying to just control situations. And again, makes sense. Jeng hasn't had the chance to prove he is a changed person. So I don't blame Pat at all in this. And again, now we're seeing also this newer version of Pat, this better version of Pat, more confident, who is doing an amazing job. He's leading. Well, that's the thing. I can't tell if he's the head of the company or if A is who actually is the head of the company, or if he's an employee, or if they're all part owners. I can't tell what it is, but he is in a new company and they're doing their thing and they're thriving. And he is amazing at his job, and he's able to show with merit what he can do and not depend on Jeng interfering as he has in the past. So he of course just doesn't want to go back to that. He wants to feel confident and continue to feel confident in himself, and Jeng just isn't someone who helps him feel confident, and that is very important in a relationship. You need to be with someone who helps you feel confident, who is a confidence booster. And also I really like what Tay, says to Jeng, like, you told me it was Pat's idea, so why would we not go with Pat? Like, are we gonna do it and then he's gonna go online and see that you used his idea? I went with the person who came up with it. And even though, yeah, he also did it because he was hoping to help Jeng and Pat in a way, he still was really mainly doing it because it was Pat's idea. and it's not something that's a very unique concept. So let's have the person who came up with it really get to flesh that out and put out the ads for it. And I don't blame Tay at all. And it looks like Jeng has stepped back from the restaurant a bit to focus on his dad's business, which makes me go, wow, is he really, like, imagine when he just jumps back into the restaurant, how jarring that's going to be for the employees. Like, oh great, the controlling one was gone and now he's back. Oh, that would be crazy. All right, we are 43 minutes in, which means we have a little less than an hour to go of the show, and now we're having a big conversation between Jeng and Pat. Not there yet. I want to talk about the little things before. So Broccoli House found out that they won the bid with Forge to do their online campaign. Pat decided he is going to go ahead and accept the job from Pearl and Oliver to promote the karaoke night. And then in the meeting, as they're coming up with the idea, he suggests that they have Pat be like their celebrity influencer for the event, because he has a new song out and the song is good, which shows growth with Pat suggesting Put. Because remember before when they were it's like a huge contrast before when he was working the project for Forge and they suggested Put and Chris, and he was like, let's go with someone else. He didn't want Put on the project at all because he was still hurt, while now he is like, yeah, let's get Put on this because he has a song that's appropriate for it and everything. He has moved on, he has grown, he is not the Pat from before, which makes me go, I hope he and Put didn't get back together. There's also that. And now he's spoken to Tay, be like, hey, was this really your idea to bring my company in? And Tay's like, yeah, this was originally your idea. I was told it was originally your idea, so why wouldn't I go with you? And you know, Tay making it clear he chose him because it was his project, and because of that, Pat finally is ready to sit down and listen to Jeng and everything he has to say. So I'm getting ready to watch the conversation between Jeng and Pat right now, but I'm just so happy we finally got to this point at 43 minutes and 5 seconds into this movie. This is a movie. Because of how long this is, I'm trying to wait as long as possible before I, talk, because I don't want this episode to be dragging on. But I love how, they had that cute conversation between them, talking about it, clearing the air, and how Pat now, because he is relieved, he's now in a space where he's ready to move on. He's unblocked Jeng off everything. But we see Jeng is looking at the Broccoli House page, sees Pat's name, clicks on it, and realizes that Pat has unblocked him, and the joy on his face, the way he's in disbelief, the way he's like, holy crap. He is so in love, he is so smitten, and he is internally just celebrating everything. It is the cutest thing ever. Oh my gosh. And now the two of them are trying to text each other and just don't know what to say. How do you break this silence? 2 years. It's been 2 years of silence between them. And then now, oh my god, this is so adorable. Oh, I love it. I love it. Y'all, I thought A had a daughter. She had a son. I'm over here saying her daughter. He a boy, and I love the jabs at her, saying that the baby looked like Jab. Remember when Beyonce oh god, don't come after me, Mayhem, but remember what everyone was saying, that Blue Ivy looked like Drake? That little girl looked like Jay-Z, a prettier version of Jay-Z. She looked like a very feminine version of her daddy, and now she's growing into a beautiful young lady. But remember, everybody was like, she looked like Drake. That would crack me up. Everybody said, your kid look like Job. I would think that's Job's son. Okay, so I don't know what the friendship between Pat and Put has been for the 2 years that Pat and Jeng have been broken up. So maybe they are close-ish, like at least friendly, because they're pretty friendly at this dinner. And it looks like Put himself has finally moved on from Pat, because even like hearing about Pat and his breakup with Jeng and blocked for 2 years, he's not necessarily acting jealous, is just acting awkward. But he's about to go talk to Pat, so I'll find out right there, I guess, if he does still have feelings for Pat or if he has truly moved on. But the video he made, like the cute little video advertising the karaoke, that was actually really adorable. The song is really cute and everything, and it didn't feel like, I was expecting like they're going to do this high budget thing with, but they said that they don't really have like a big budget, they need something kind of small, so it's like a way to promote his song and promote the karaoke night and all that stuff. And he did it himself, and I'm like, that is really cute. That's like a cute way to advertise. I liked it. And the fact that, you know, he and Pat have obviously come to this really good place in their friendship is awesome to see as well. Like, it's a good enough friendship that A and Shut feel safe telling Put go talk to Pat when Pat is feeling down about Jeng not reaching out to him and his inability to reach out to Jeng. So Put and Pat have a conversation. They talk about leaving feelings unclear, and Put has moved on and Pat has moved on. They've gotten to a place now where they can just talk and even talk about their relationship, why it didn't work out, how it ended, and neither of them really feel burdened by that conversation. Now, why is it when they come back in, the first thing Pat does is go to that damn karaoke machine? I know why, but why? Why is he like this? Okay, so I'm about to let you in on a secret. Whenever there's singing in a BL, I usually look away from the screen because it's usually very awkward for me, because it's not a musical. Like musicals, I am involved in the singing, I am dancing, I'm jumping up and down. But when it comes to like dramas and like just TV shows that are not musicals and they start singing, I just look away from the screen because I'm like, I don't want to. It feels weird. It just feels like this doesn't belong here. So looking up at the screen and seeing Jeng walking into the room and Pat singing to him, I'm like, great, now I have to go back and find out what the song is. Which song is it? Is it like a song that he sang to him before? Like, is it the song from the other, like, is he singing a love confession? Like, that's so jarring. Just look up, like, what the hell is Jeng doing there? Wait, is Pat singing to Jeng? One of my favorite like random musical moments is from 10 Things I Hate About You with Heath Ledger and, oh god, what's the name of that actress again? I can't remember the name of the actress, but when he's like, I need you, baby, like running through the bleachers and getting like chased by the guards and stuff, like, because that's how I feel whenever like these musical moments happen. Like, someone tackle this person and stop him. And I love musicals. It's just when it's in these shows, it feels weird. I just cannot. Like, all right, so I've rewound it now and I'm watching him sing it. Can we break up? You told me. I'm not gonna read the lyrics to you, but okay, Jeng is in the kitchen washing dishes. He hears it. He's like, that is my Pat. And he washes his hands. I'm giving you the play-by-play. Dries his hands. Then goes, what is that picture? And then there is Jeng walking in. I can't. It's just so, like, again, I feel like I should not be looking at this. And then they're walking up to each other saying, oh, they gon' fuck tonight. Why Pat always look like he gonna cry? Why Pat always look like he gonna cry? Oh God, it's so cute. All right, just make out. Just. Mother, just make out. Just fuck. Y'all. Oh, they did skip. Did they skip his singing in that episode? They did, right? They skipped it. And then, okay, so now we know which song. Good playback, because y'all do be skipping shit and not giving us the full story. And it, man, looks so cute. They always ready to cry, but no tears. Y'all don't have a tear stick on, oh my God, no, Jeng, come back! Damn it. He serenaded him. He walked away. That's kind of also embarrassing because it's in front of everybody. Yes, go after him, you idiot. Why are you standing there? I would have dropped the mic. Yes, go back to the kitchen where y'all first. Okay, we got like 40 minutes left of the show now. That kitchen scene. So, you know, Jeng runs away, Pat finally runs after him, and they're talking in the kitchen, and they're finally just clearing the air on everything. And Jeng is crying, and he's like, do you still like me? And I want to talk about that particular thing, the do you still like me, to compare it to when Pat said I love you or something like that. Said I love you, sorry, to Pat. And what Pat did was kind of just kiss him to avoid answering the question. Or do you you like, I like you, whatever. Do you like me? Yeah, he was like, do you like me? And Pat kisses put to avoid answering the question. Versus this one, when Jeng is like, do you still like me? Pat runs into his arms crying. Because it's like an overwhelming amount of emotion. He's not trying to avoid answering the question. He is so overcome with the question. And I love that Jeng says, well, right now you're drunk, so let's wait to really talk about this later. Can I come see you tomorrow? Like, that is very sweet and awesome. Like, the fact that he's aware, like, you've been drinking, so let's wait until you're sober so we can really talk about this and how we feel. I'm in tears, by the way. I'm also in tears. I'm crying. Oh, I'm loving this. I love this episode. Okay, so Jeng shows up at Pat's house. So it kind of confirmed for me, because I was wondering if Pat lived at the broccoli house, and it does. He does. He and his father live at the broccoli house, and he works from home. So that was kind of confirmed for me. But Jeng shows up, and he's calling Pat's dad Pa still, which I'm just like, hell yeah. And then he and Pat sit down. He made Pat some soup, and then he to start over their relationship, he plays out a whole scene of, hi, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. May I know your name? Pat's just like, what the hell are you doing? And it's so adorable, because like it goes back to that episode where they were doing that whole play thing at the store with the kitchen. Like, Jeng will act a fool for Pat, because that is how much he loves him. He will act a fool for him, and it's so adorable. Now I want to talk about the dad real quick, because like I knew it was the dad the second I saw the way he was making his coffee, and I was like, it's such a, it's not even bougie, it's just this like uppity way of, look at me, I press my coffee, and I am so like advanced. I'm a coffee connoisseur, unlike you people who just drink Starbucks. Like, it's that kind of vibe. So it fits him. And I'm like, why does this contraption look evil? And it's just him being all, look at me, this is how I take my coffee. And it's just done in such a way that I'm like, damn, this looks evil. He plays such good bad guys. I love this actor. He needs to keep playing the bad guy. I want him to be the bad guy in every BL. Okay, so I am now confused of the passage of time. So here's what's happened. Jeng has quit his job at Jeng Group, the dad, threw the resignation letter in the trash. So Jeng is of course worried that his dad has something planned up his sleeves, because it was too easy for him to be able to leave. And then he and Pat were having dinner together. They had some green curry. It looks really good. And then they celebrated Pat's birthday. He sang happy birthday to him, made him like this cake with like rice and crispy pork, which love it. I'm so going to steal that idea for someone I know who hates sweets. I'm totally doing that. And then they go to meet Jeng's mom. Now, this is where the confusion happens. Jeng's mom shows up and she starts asking Pat questions. And one of the questions was, how old are you? And Pat says at the end of October, he'll be 26. But in the previous scene, they celebrated Pat's birthday. Hence my confusion as to the passage of time. I'm gonna need some explaining. Yo, I actually like the way Jeng's mom came in, asked him a couple questions. She got her answer. She knew who this boy is. Her phone rings. All right, well, have fun with your friend. And just left the full pot of tea. I could never do that. Left the full pot of tea. This one, and then I love how Jeng is like, oh, this is friendlier than she usually is. Like, if you haven't seen the new Spider-Man Across the Universe, or Across the Spider-Verse, movie, there is this scene with the Indian Spider-Man where he saves someone, and the daughter goes, oh wow, I've never seen him this happy, and he's just like, thank you, Spider-Man. It's so funny. That's all I can think about. She's just like, okay, nice to meet you, have fun with your friend. Like, wow, that was very friendly of her. She's a Tsunade. How do you pronounce it? Sundari? Sundar? I suck at Japanese. My Japanese is awful. I when I speak Japanese, I sound Haitian. They just take in turns celebrating each other's birthdays? Is this what we're getting? What, it's just getting birthday after birthday after birthday? Give me something for the passage of time. Also, quick reminder, the happy birthday song is not public domain. Okay, my question. How the hell did he underbake the cake and it not collapse when he was putting everything on it and together? How do you bake a medium rare cake and it not collapse? That is talent, actually. That is talent. You didn't put like a knife through it, a toothpick through it, anything through it to make sure it was cooked all the way through, baked all the way through? Oh, damn. And man is so cute with that damn whip thing on his lips. I want to lick it off. Okay, so I'm just letting the cuteness play out because it's all fluff scenes. And then, you know, they're in this bed and talking and stuff, and then run over to this couch and talking about the layout and stuff. And that's when I catch on to the fact that they're not in a house. Because I'm thinking they're looking, at first I'm like, oh, are they looking at houses together? Why were they laid up in that bed? I was like, no, they're just at a furniture store. Running through this furniture store on these people's furniture. Plotting their, playing out their life together. But it's okay. See, Jeng is going to come back and buy stuff when they do get a home. What the hell? I did not realize they were in a store. Again, Pat makes Jeng act a fool. Oh my gosh, they're just running through a furniture store playing. I wish I could get my husband to do that. He's way too stoic to do some crap like that. But yeah, I love this. I loved that we got a lot of fluffiness in the end. I don't like that I didn't really understand what the timeline was. I wish the timeline was better fleshed out so I could understand, you know, how their relationship is progressing and how long they've been together now. I like that we got a little rap here and there for everyone. We found out that Ying left the job to become a boys love writer, a Y book writer. Is that what it's called? Put is now forayed into music and has a song out. Pat and his dad live together, but he is now getting ready to build this future with Jeng, and they'll eventually get their own place, and who knows what happens there. And we know that Jeng is like assuring Pat everything will be good. But here's the thing. This is the thing about this ending of the show, though. The way the show ended and everything, it doesn't feel like an ending. I'm wondering, is there going to be a season 2? Because of course there's things that people still of course want to see with other characters. I see like the Job Jane fans complaining about the ending, and I understand why now, but for me, I have zero complaints about the ending because I was never a Job Jane fan, so I didn't care about their story enough to care how it ended, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, I say ending a lot. End of the day, this didn't feel like the end of a series. This just felt like a season 1 of a series. So I don't think there's going to be a season 2. Have they announced? I don't think they're having a season 2 of the show, but it just feels like there's a season 2 somewhere. Like something about it just feels like there would be. This feels like a show that could have a season 2, and it's confusing to me. Very confusing to me. But I love that Pat and Jeng got their wonderful happy ending. Pat's family is extremely supportive, and Jeng is assuring Pat that his mother will be very supportive of their relationship. But again, this is why it didn't feel like an ending. He said he feels like his father is planning something. He said the mother still hasn't come around to the relationship, and again, we haven't seen Jab and Jane together to fully understand what happened with them, if they decided to do long distance, like what's going on there fully. And of course, Shelton Crit, he got his man at home. I love it. But yeah, it just felt like there's things left to flesh out that haven't been fleshed out. So yeah, again, this doesn't feel like a series finale. This feels like a season finale. But I don't think we're getting more to the series. We just have to wait and see. But I don't think we're getting a season 2 unless they've announced it and I haven't noticed it. So what did you think of the final episode of Step by Step? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think about the series overall? Go ahead and let me know. There should be a way to interact with the podcast on Spotify. And you can also let me know on Instagram and Facebook under the Step by Step episode 12 post. So that is it for Step by Step. What show is coming next? I haven't decided yet. You can also let me know which shows you'd like to see me review. I'm thinking about Jeng and Ben because Korean BLs are a little bit shorter and I like that. I'm definitely going to be doing the red, white, and royal blue movie when that comes out. I can also do Heartstopper season 2 when that comes out. Those two are coming out way too close, by the way, I would just like to say. I could also backtrack and do some Young Royals, anything, let me know what shows you like me to review. I know what I'm looking forward to review that is on the list of stuff to come out. And here's the kicker. I'm not going to be doing a full series review of a Thai BL for a while, just because I want to give it a little rest. I can do small reviews where I just talk about the episode, talk about the show, or anything like that. But I won't be doing like an episode by episode for a while on Thai BL. That's just me needing a little break from it. Please respect my boundary. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Time for BL. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, and good night, whatever it is, wherever you are.